could have died. I could have died. Well, I didn't die, but I was damn sick. G'day, welcome back to the channel. Now, for those who missed my posting on my community tab page on this channel, I found myself in the emergency room of the hospital a few weeks ago. Had pipes and things on my fingers and drips and all sorts of things. I was in a pretty bad way, I've got to say. Now, normally I'm pretty fit and strong and tough and resilient and robust, but I had a double whammy that really knocked me for six. I caught the malware again for the second time in less than 2 months, about 6 weeks apart. If I had malware, then 6 weeks later, I get it again. It must have been a totally different variant because, man, it laid me low. I seem to have no resistance to that one. And while I was on my back with the malware, I got a kidney infection. In fact, it was from the exit point right up to the kidneys, got a bacterial infection. Now, that's not uncommon with Parkinson's. We get urinary tract infections because of the way the muscle control on the waterworks doesn't work quite like normal. So I'm used to that. I'm used to dealing with that, and there are certain ways you can just, when you feel it coming on, you can just drink more and add a bit of cranberry juice to your diet, and usually away it goes. But I was so laid on my back with the malware, that was the last thing on my mind. So that took over, and I had a viral infection and a bacterial infection. My resting heart rate was 120. My blood pressure was 187 over something. You know, all the alarms were going off when they hooked me up. So I wasn't very happy. I wasn't very happy at all. I'm just glad that I did start from a high point of strength and robustness and resilience. If I'd been a frail old 72-year-old, I might not be making this video. But it's reminded me of something really important. Now, my motto has been Carpe Diem for quite some time. You know, live each day as if it's your last, because one day you will be right. This particular event, you know, this illness has reminded me just how important it is to live to that doctrine. And so this summer, sooner or later, one of the summers that's coming will be my last summer. So I would hate to think that if it was my last summer, I spent it just, you know, sitting around indoors doing nothing or just grizzling about the state of the world. No, not going to do that. This has given me a real kick up the backside. So this summer, I'm going out there and having as much fun as I can, bring you along for the ride. I've got a grassy field set up. Yes, I found a grassy field. It's not a mown field. It's a long grassy field. It's a farmer field. So the grass is about this long. So there'll be nothing with undercarriages, unfortunately. But there's wings, there's drones, there's all sorts of things I can fly there. I might do a bit of long range stuff because I don't give a stuff if it's illegal, because please someone point out all the people that have died and all the property that's been damaged by people flying long range FPV. It hasn't happened. It is, the people who are making the rules have no clues as to the risk profiles of these operations. So I'm just going to go and really enjoy myself and share it with you guys. And if people want to get upset, if the local council wants to get upset that I'm flying within 4 kilometres of their airfield without their permission, well, they can stick it up their backside. I don't give a damn. And if CAA wants to get upset, well, you know, they can get upset. If they think I'm doing anything that's unsafe, then I'm happy to hear from them. But if I'm just technically breaking rules whilst remaining perfectly safe, I don't want to be bothered with anything from them. So we'll see what happens. I'm picking a fight, I suppose. Picking more fights. I pick enough fights. Do I need to pick more? I don't know. So yeah, this summer is going to be, I'm going to be as busy and as active as I can be. I do have an AXN in the box, a brand new AXN in box. I'm going to build that up with lithium-ion batteries, flight controller, the best FPV system I've got. I might use that as a long-range craft because it's light, it's safe, and just see how much performance we can get out of an AXN in 2024-25. It'd be interesting because they're over 10 years old, 10, 12 years old. They first came out way back, didn't they? No, maybe even 14 years old. So it'll be interesting to see how a 14-year-old model can compete with more recent models. And I'll bring you along for the ride on that as well. Yep, that's pretty much what I've got to say. I've got some videos coming up of things like remote ID. My goodness, what a giant flop that's been in the USA. Where everyone was told you've got to fit, you know, remote ID modules to your planes and your drones, but it's just a complete washout. It's a disaster. There's been instances in the USA where drones have been sent over military bases, but they don't know what they are or where they've come from because they didn't have remote ID on them. Oh my God, you mean bad actors don't fit remote ID? Who knew? Who could have known in advance? Who could have warned them of this? I've no idea. Anyway, it's a whole video on its own, trust me. It's kind of good. And the video on eVTOLs, flying taxis, you know, that's just about finished. You won't believe how much money people are losing, how many companies are going to the wall because they just bullshitted their way onto the investor scene with all sorts of promises they could never deliver on. So yeah, it's going to be a giant catastrophe. People losing their shirts all over the place. So yeah, anyway, this video was just to let you know that I am back, I am alive, I'm 80% fixed. Within a week or so I should be back to full speed. I lost a lot of weight and lost a bit of muscle through the illness, so I'm going to get back into exercise, eat a bit of wholesome, nutritious food, get myself back into a robust condition, and make a whole bunch of videos. So charging batteries for my cameras, charging batteries for models, and dusting off a few old models that I can fly at my new grassy field. And we'll see how we go. Now, Ron and Bill and Scott and others, I know they're still flying at the airfield. And as I say, I'm not allowed to film on council property for at risk of being trespassed. And the council owns the airfield. So I don't know if I'll have a chat to them, see if they want to come out to the grassy field and have a fly. But I suspect Bill's got his EDFs and those guys are still flying there, and the runway is quite useful. My grass is this long, so I can't use anything with wheels. And so they may prefer to stay at the airfield. We'll see what happens. And of course, I'll be flying without a spotter. Oh my God, how can I do that? Because it is within 4 kilometres of an airfield. Well, we know. I've got my ADS-B alarm. And by the way, in the background here, I have just fixed the bug that has been plaguing me for months now. Memory leak. There was a memory leak. So when you ran the ADS-B alarm, it would sit there and it would gradually use more and more and more memory. And in the process, it would get slower and slower until eventually it would crash because it ran out of memory. And I was almost going to rewrite the whole damn thing from scratch, but I finally found the problem, and I'm rejoice. Maybe the break I had being sick enabled me to look at the thing from a different perspective. But that is fixed. So once again, I'm promising you the ADS-B alarm will be up certainly before Christmas. Not going to promise anything before Christmas because I've just got so much going on here, and I'm still, as I say, only 80%. I'm still need a bit more rest than I usually do. So that'll be your Christmas present, the ADS-B alarm. And I'll be using that in the field to make sure there are no aircraft creeping up on me because I'm flying without my spotter within 4 kilometres of the airfield. It is 3.8 kilometres away, but I mean, still technically within 4 kilometres. And so I technically should get the permission of the council, and technically I should have a spotter and wings, and say, to hell with it. Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem. If this is my last summer, which hopefully it's not, I'm going to make the most of it. But speaking of summer, look, I've got winter clothes on. It was 2 degrees this morning, frost, almost a frost. And we're 1 week out from the start of summer. The world's weather is crazy. Maybe it's climate change, I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Rambled on too long. Thank you for watching. Thanks to all those people who support me. And thanks to those who in Patreon who support me, because I have missed the 3 most lucrative weeks of the year in terms of YouTube ad revenue because I was crook. Damn it. In these 3 weeks, I get at least a quarter of my revenue. In fact, in the November, December months, I get half my annual revenue from YouTube, and I've lost half of that half already. Oh, what do I do? Anyway, I'll make do. I shall carry on, and hopefully give you the best quality videos that I can. Now, remember there was a shill offer I put out there? If you want me to shill your products, well, that's been a resounding failure. Absolutely devastatingly bad. I have got a couple of things. One of the viewers went to an awful lot of work. I have to praise them immensely for this. They sent me this. And they put a lot of effort into it. It's not something to shill, but it's something that I really want to share because it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And then I got a thing from New Zealand Post, which said, "Dear customer," I'm a customer apparently, "New Zealand Post," that's our postal service, "regrets," oh, don't you hate it when I use regrets? "Regrets, the enclosed item has been damaged. We endeavoured to contain as much of its contents as practical." So, New Zealand Post, you had one job, and you stuffed it up. So I don't know, I haven't opened this yet. I don't know if there's anything missing, what's missing. The envelope is ripped, so if there's stuff inside, it could have fallen out. I can feel some stuff in there. And it's addressed to the XJet shill offer. So if it's something to shill, I'll shill it. But that's all I've got. Nothing else. People don't want their product shilled in the lead up to Christmas. How crazy is this? What's going on? Am I that useless at what I do? I don't know. But nevertheless, I'll do my best with these 2 products. Maybe some more stuff will turn up before Christmas. I really don't know. Nobody's contacted me and said, "Hey, what's your physical address when I send you something by courier?" So I really don't think there's been much of a response at all. Okay, there we go. Never mind. So thanks for watching. See you again very soon with a mountain of videos. Bye for now.